first thing you see in a newspaper is headlines. Now, we touched on some newspapers last week, but we're going to look at them in more detail from now on. So here's today's objective, the 2nd of February. We're going to select vocabulary and grammatical structures that reflect what the writing requires. Now, if you look at some of these headlines here from last April, May time, it's the tabloid newspapers. They are short, they are snappy, and we're going to look at some headlines, and what makes up tabloid headlines. So we know they're there to capture the reader's attention. As you can see on here, it was all about lockdown ending back in May, and it caught people's attention. I understand they've got to be short and snappy. Count how many words you can see in some of those. I mean, Happy Monday and Magic Monday, you've got 2 words there. I can write a brief synopsis of a story based on a given headline. Now, some of you will be getting onto that later on. I can think of a headline to accompany a story. I'm going to show you some pictures which you're going to add headlines to. And I can change the formality of my headline. Now, these are quite informal because they're tabloid. We've got here some different types of headlines. So here we've got some playing with words. That's one way of doing it. And the one that you can see in front of you is hot poppity. Now, you might think I've said it differently, but it's how it's written, hot poppity. What do you think that might be about? Something to do with a pop star, or it's linked to it's playing on the words property. So pop could be to do with fizzy pop, or like I said, a pop singer. We don't know. This is just a headline, and we're looking at different types. What do you think it could be about? A pun. Now, this is where a word, it's got 2 meanings, okay? And some examples here are Christmas shoppers stocking up. How is that a pun? Stocking. What's that got to do with Christmas? What's that got to do with shopping? Which Halloween costume is for you? So can you explain those? Is there anyone there with you? Can you explain how those 2 are puns? Stocking up and which Halloween? Pretty obvious, really, but you should think back to your homophone work and why that which is used as a pun. Wordplay. This one, you change things around. You might lose a letter here or there, but this phrase, struck by lightning, is struck by lightning. What do you think that story's about? Alliteration, you're all pretty good at this. Try and keep your words to a minimum, but you know what alliteration is. It's where the sound at the beginning of each word is all the same. It could be the letters. Sending up the stars and stripes, lots of at the start of those words. Choose a topic of your own and try and get as many alliterative words in one headline. Pause the video, see how many you can get. I wouldn't go over 6 words though, maybe 7. See how you can go. See if you can get every single word starting with the same sound or letter. Little challenge for you. Let's pause the video, a few minutes, have a go at those different headings. Okay, this one is a rhyme. Green Queen. Could that be about the Queen taking out her cardboard? Glass with class. Could that be a teacher having a drink with his class on a nice sunny day? I'm looking out because there's still a bit of snow. I don't know. What could it be? Glass with class. Green Queen. Try to think of 5 different rhyming headlines on an item from today's news or yesterday's. So something that's in the news at the moment. Can you make up your own headline? So for any of these that we've done, please feel free to jot down 2 or 3 for each one and send them in. Always love reading children's ideas from headlines. Next part of the lesson is I'm going to give you a picture. You've got 4 up here, and I want you to think of 2 different headlines for each of these pictures. Now, I did mention earlier about formality. Now, here we could have short and snappy 2-word headlines, or you could go into a bit more detail, a bit more formality. Foreign object sighted in sunset sky, for example. It's a bit more detail and less informal. Number 2, write a brief opening paragraph, 2 sentences or max for each picture or headline. So a couple of things for you to do there on each one. So if you choose the car one, for example, obviously there's been a flood somewhere It's up to you. You decide where it happened, when it happened, but you're going to use those pictures on there and to write a brief opening paragraph, 2 sentences, okay? Oh, hey, year 6, we're going on to the great depth objective, which is looking at formality. So if you want to take it up a notch with your headline choices, you can do one for tabloids and one for broadsheet. Now, the broadsheet ones are a lot more formal, therefore there's more words, and you find out more from that headline. So this one here, the informal one, is Jack hacks Pentagon. So this cat's called Jack, and he's got on his computer, and for some strange reason, he's managed to hack the Pentagon. Yeah, I made it up, promise. But the broadsheet one could be local cat claws his way into top secret files. So there's a bit more information on there. There's more words and it is more formal. So have a go. This is another one. Blaze burns billionaire's pad. Again, it's informal. We've got alliteration at the start. Look at the alternative for broadsheet. Top CEO has holiday home destroyed in freak accident. A bit more information, a longer headline, and more formal information. So if you want to have a go at the green objective today, please feel free. Choose one of those pictures, come up with an informal one, but then alternatively produce a more formal one that could be found on a broadsheet newspaper. I'm going to choose this headline, well, this picture here of a fire. And I'm going to think to myself, well, what kind of headline am I going to choose? I'm thinking ashes, caches, cash, there's cash there, there's cash in a house. So I've got an old house, could be quite an expensive house. Looks like it's wooden at the top, so it might have been gone quite quickly. So I'm thinking of the words cash, ash in a flash, cash turned to ash in a flash. 5, 6, 7, 7 words now. Do I count 2 in and out? I don't know. Cash turned to ash in a flash. So my story is about, let's say, I don't know, an elderly couple who didn't trust banks and kept all their cash under their mattress, and the house has now turned to ashes and all their money is gone, and it went quite quickly. So that's what I'm all started with, the words cash, ash and flash, because I was thinking about rhymes. So my headline rhymes. Now I've got to think about very quickly in 2 sentences putting together the who, what, where, when, why. Okay, so pause the video, choose one of those pictures, come up with your headline, and then do what I've done here. Make up your first 2 sentences for your introductory paragraph. Okay, pause the video, come back to me, and I'm going to write up my first opening paragraph. Okay, so you've done your headlines, and what I'm going to do now is think about who, what, where, when, why, and it might help if I do this. Who, what, where, when, why. Now, why doesn't necessarily have to come in our opening paragraph. I'm going to look at this in more detail tomorrow. But for today, an elderly couple lost thousands today in a shocking Wiltshire, so the countryside, Wiltshire home. Okay. So that's it for today. That's all I want you to do. And we're going to look at this in more detail tomorrow about writing your opening paragraph and in certain order. So have a go at those. Send through what you've got. I'm looking forward to some imaginative headlines followed up by some, well, hopefully more interesting stories than what I've done. Okay, good luck. Look forward to reading them. See you soon.